Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2, where it's with great anticipation I introduce to you the Protoss player in the blue. Bottom right, it's the Trickster. It's SOS. But a dangerous opponent, with more than a few tricks up his sleeve, and who knows where else he's keeping them. The most entertaining player in the world, it's the final boss. It's Dark, repping his favorite player in the portrait. Once again, it's Dark. Best of 3 PVZ, and this almost certainly is going to be something different, as SOS has been back from a little while from his obligatory military service, but he's also, instead of following in the footsteps of someone like Hero or Max Pax, he's been charting a course all his own. Something a little, and already a Twilight Council to mix it up. Something a little bit different. Is it better? I don't know. Is it interesting? Certainly. Is it a reason to like and subscribe? Well, that's up to you, but it'd be awesome if you did, because if, Jimmy, what are we at? What? 1,191 likes on this video, on this cast, on this experience, and I'll cast another series, and I'll probably do it anyways. I don't know what else I'd do with my life, but thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you've had a good day so far, and hopefully it's about to get just a little bit better, as SOS is leading things off with 50 Shades with Glaives. Adept Ollie, why not pull out a relatively old trick to start things off on Oceanborn, but still something that is incredibly dangerous if you don't lose your first Adepts to Zerglings. Dark rips apart one of the Adepts, a single drone, a consolation prize. I guess the only benefit of this is that maybe Dark won't expect a Glaive all-in after someone... Yeah, he's already setting up. He's got a Spore Crawler, and that is in anticipation of potentially a Stargate. But I think very soon he's going to realize that is not the case, but instead something a bit more underhanded, a bit more shady, if you would. And yeah, Mass Adepts is the choice. Roachworn on the way. 2 more gases for Dawn, who are starting to realize that shenanigans are afoot, as there is no base. 20 more Zerglings on the way. He's only got 40 drones. He's building another sport, so he's not sure if this is DTs or Adept Glaives, and both options are still open from his perspective, as he well, that's probably going to give some of it away. Probably will complete the Spore. There is a 3rd base in production, and SOS Dark Shrine in production. Well, not expecting this to take Dark entirely by surprise, but it's the follow-up. It's the Shiv in the side as opposed to the Shades in the front that he's expecting to get the damage done. But Dark, he saw the Adepts, but he let the Spore complete, anticipating SOS's potential follow-up. It's a pretty obvious one, but that doesn't mean it can't work. And now look at the worker count. 47 probes to just 40 drones. That is what you sacrifice here. And actually, the Dark Shrine is going to be not just an aggressive option, but the saving grace here for SOS. We can see how this is going to go. We see right now that Dark has only 40 drones, and he's clearly winding up for a counterattack to slaughter SOS on the field. These Roaches and Zerglings are more than enough to deal with the Adepts. But there is no lair. There is no detection. The DTs will not only keep SOS alive, but essentially invalidate all of the... It's going to be like that campaign mission, where a wall of Dark Templar may very well be the best way. And he's kept so busy. Dark has not figured it out. He hasn't started a lair. And yes, the Adepts will be caught. And honestly, a lot of damage will likely be done before the DTs are able to clean this up. But more and more being warped in. Dark is doubling, tripling, quad. He's throwing everything into this. He didn't expect SOS to be so committed, and he turns around immediately. Rarely do we see Dark so clearly surprised by a straight. Like the oh my god, he moved the Spore! He moved the Spore from the main! Where is it? Where did it go? Did he cancel it at the last second before? He has 2 spores out there. Where is that other spore? Am I crazy? I guess he's rerouting one of them, but somehow SOS, it was so late it became early again. The clock rolled over on the Dark Templar, and SOS has pulled one over on Dark. It's 60 probes, and he can't do anything until there's a lair. SOS did such a, like, middle-of-the-road adept timing that Dark was convinced that he was completely focused on that. It was going to follow it up with, like, a Robo and a Robo Bay, which he is now. But by the time Dark is able to get detection and deal with these DTs more directly... What is over here? We got some Stalkers. They have Blink. No upgrades, just Blink. Teleporting in with the Shades, waltzing in with the DTs. I'm surprised he doesn't have DT Blink, but that one a bit costly for just a couple of them. Dark still has quite a standing on. So far, the only place he's been soundly beaten is in the mind games, as he has plenty of Zerglings. SOS getting a bit ambitious with the Blink Stalkers, getting caught and ripped apart by the Zerglings. He's gonna have to recall here eventually. I think he's setting up for it. Stutter stepping back. Gonna have to blink behind the mineral line, but I think it's already too late. There's a half-hearted recall, but wipes out most of the Stalkers before... SOS getting a little too fancy-prancy for his own good there. And Dark with a satisfying catch and kill on the vast majority of those units. Warp Prism in the main. Dark does see it. Units are coming back to defend. Dark has caught up and actually surpassed slightly in the worker count the moment he realized what was going on. But SOS still has the tech here. Losing 13 Stalkers. Wow, that was a big mistake. I think, well, Dark with a surprising amount of Overlords kind of just wandering around. This game has already gone sideways, up and down, all around, but it looks like we're going to stabilize in something resembling the mid-game. We're going to have Roach, Ravager, Zergling up against Colossi, and as many gateway units as you can put in front of it. Charge is on the way, going to complete the full set of Twilight Council upgrades. Rare to see nowadays. Usually it's the Glaive to Depths that are left out, to be honest. They don't get in early, they're not getting in at all. I think Dark is happy to sit back. He tried his hand at a little bit of aggression and almost got it chopped off by a DT. By the way, which DT is cooler? The DT with the Scythe or the DT with, like, the Dagger Blade? They do the same amount of damage. It's one of the only units that actually has that. I don't know if there is another unit that has that sort of difference, like that disparity. I like the Scythe. I like the Scythe. All right, I think it's not that close either, just to be honest. Sorry, Dagger fans, you Zeratul cosplayers, all right? But the Scythe is clearly more practical and way cooler. Not as cool as breaking your own sentry's force fields with Archons, though. So angry, they just roll right over them, and unfortunately, without force field, SOS keeps going forward with an army that doesn't look like enough. But in that zest-like confidence, SOS is a YOLO toss. One of those toss that just decides he's winning the fight, and sometimes that makes the difference. But sometimes, well, numbers matter. And say, like, why are we still here, SOS? He's still fighting. The DT does a surprising amount of damage. The Spore Crawler trying to come down. SOS is still fighting. Like, he's still going. This army, he's just waltzing up. I've missed this sort of Protoss. Hero, I don't think Hero has this level of confidence. Hero is, he's not like a Captain Jack Sparrow level of casual confidence. It's like an Iron Man. I'm really stretching my Disney analogies here, but like, when he knows he has all the tools he needs, he'll get confident, he'll get cocky, and sometimes he'll get punished for it. But this is just sometimes I get punched in the face, And that's okay, because I'll get drunk and do it again. And maybe that time it'll work out. And that's how SOS, the drunken brawler Protoss, he's playing right now. I'm not even sure, like, Dark should have crushed him in these fights, but SOS stood his ground and actually took an okay-ish trade. He's lost a bit more gas, but he hasn't lost economy, because he's been so aggressive. Dark has not really been able to do, has he lost any probes? He has lost 0 probes. So, just untouched on his side of the map. But now Dark is adding in Vipers. He's got adrenal glands. And we have +2 melees already done. But Archons, a strong Protoss army coming together, and it will be SOS yet again. The aggressor. He's been boxing out Dark at great cost, but effectively so. Adrenal Glands is done, and here comes something resembling a surround from Dark. Pulling back, Blinkstalkers, Archons left in front. They can take the hits. The Zealots just run right in. SOS will warp in another round. A spray of corrosive bile. He'll waltz right through it. The Banelings into the Stalkers, but SOS is chasing Dark down. Well, the Colossi, thinning out the Zerglings, even a DT is mixed in. Might die incidentally to Banelings, but actually adding some damage. SOS just keeps warping in units. The Vipers are on the field. He could pull in the Colossi. It looks like he'll get it. The Colossi actually are helping out a bit, but they'll step right back over the top. Looks like he will lose all of them. Will that make the difference in the end? Or will it even matter? +2 ranged attack done, +3 about to complete. SOS just continues warping in. How many gateways is he with? There's no detection here. The DT! Oh, the Zerg Cup. No, it's the Scythe DT. That's why it has 11 kills. It's way cooler. I told you it was more practical. Anyways, gets another Ravager. Beautiful Blink Micro here. But Dark is bringing it all together. He still has enough. Another Colossus just waltz into the fight. He is consuming the Baneling nest. The 4th base is badly bruised right now for Dark. One good volley from the Blinkstalkers, whatever else SOS is able to put together. But so far, well, Dark maintains a supply lead, but SOS actually has more bases. He's got 5. He's going up to 14 gateways. There's a Warp Prism, that's an EMP and a strong gust of wind away from death. But thankfully no ghosts here. SOS is making Dark look like Dark makes everyone else look. At least that's how it feels right now. Dark is on the back foot, but that's arguably when he's most dangerous. As so many times we see a Protoss player put Dark in a bit of an uncomfortable spot, and then somehow a 3-4 pronged attack and a slaughter of probes and the army itself. Banelings rolling in. SOS deals with it easily. +3 melee means the probes do get 1 shot. It was +2 before. Warp Prism dies unceremoniously to Parasitic Bomb. But SOS is nearly maxed out with quite an army here, and that was some of the Viper energy. Oh my god! Oh my god! He's saving the Colossi with the Prism! He juked it! He juked the... Oh! Welcome back! And the Colossi taking terrible, terrible damage. But he dodged the Abduct with the Warp Prism, which is technically possible, but practically, well, apparently good enough. And now Dark loses his 5th base. He's mining out of his main. The income is headed towards the Protoss. He's still out here with these Blinkstalkers. And Dark is just... It feels like he's being whittled down. But he still has enough economy to put plenty of units on the field. Colossus has 1 HP. Are you kidding me right now? 12 kills. Other one 47 HP. But they're still alive. Full shields. Now Warp Prism's still there to yank him back when the Viper tries to go the other way. +3 missile attacks about to complete. Some changelings over there. Just some... Well, it's still... Even no matter how this ends, it's been an impressive game out of SOS. Dark on his last legs. He does still have a lot of them, though. The Banelings rolling in, doing just 1-2 Banelings. Kills all those probes. The Vipers could really use a High Templar or two right now. Tries to yank it out. Gets a couple of the Colossi, but the Archons come stumbling in. The Colossi are happy to stand tall. And while probes might die on the other side, the army is melting of Dark here. There's still 2 Colossi on the back line. Corrosive Bile sprays up and takes out one of the Archons. But Dark has now lost drones. SOS has lost probes, but SOS can replace them more easily. Just some incredible micro out of SOS. And he takes it. Wow. Okay. Now that... It's been a while since I've seen something quite like that. Welcome back, SOS. Yeah, that Dark just taken aback. Unable to get anything done as SOS just strong arms his way into the base, continually chipping away. He's trading maybe a little bit more than you would usually expect, but it's clear he had an objective. And keeping Dark off balance was much of it. But he traded away Stalkers in order to keep the army count down. And Colossi? Is that the tick? Why is there a drone? Dark, I'm trying to talk about the last game, not this one. What are you doing with the drone? SOS, he builds a Nexus on 19. Was he anticipating this? Usually you build the Nexus on 20. And Dark steals the gas, but I think that's mostly out of spite. But SOS actually builds a Nexus 1 supply earlier than usual. And he blocks Dark from being able to block his Nexus. So that might just be default for him, but wow. And of course, do you know how hard it is to dodge, abduct with a warp prism? It's not the hardest thing. Okay, it's not like I think the hardest thing is either timing out the Adept Shade against a Widow Mine, or similar, timing the Reaper Grenade against the Adept as it shades to hit it in that split second. But it's up there, especially when it comes to individual unit micro, because you have to pick out which Colossus is being abducted, and you have to do it before it gets out of range, because the abduct will grab the Colossus away. So you literally have to yank it back. Literally, like, I would like if it just ended in the middle. The warp prism yanks the Colossus, or the abduct yanks the Colossus, the warp prism yanks it, just stays right where it is. Oh, speaking of, that Adept, surrounded and killed. Dark just has a casual extractor in the base. The Twilight Council is implied, I think. One, because, well, it is SOS. And two, with a gas block that early, it's almost impossible to go Stargate in a timely manner. So again, just relying on the shades. But so far, well, the Adept Shades and the Glaives did almost nothing last game, but they set the scene for the Dark Templar and the follow-up past that. Overlord gets in. I'm gonna see the Twilight. He can take some pretty educated guesses as to what... Oh... Well, not an ideal situation. Glaives aren't done, so it's gonna be that much harder. Okay, well, why does it always feel like this for Protoss? Now this feels like Hero. Not just because of Darklings in the base, but for every time I watch a Protoss game where it feels like somebody just came up with the most genius strategy and with incredible micro... Okay, at least Dark's being nice and offering up some drones. And then there's a game where they forget how to wall off their natural. It's like, just give us a door. Easy for you to say, Terrans, with your supply depots and your floating buildings. Terrans still struggle with setting up their buildings with add-ons correctly. And they can move them around. But, oh, I mean, was that actually that bad? There's a Dark Shrine on the way, which is the most obvious thing in the world. That doesn't make it bad, as we saw last game. And the Adepts, well, Dark got in, but he did lose the Lings. You're gonna lose a lot more Lings here. There's more Adepts on the way across. It looks like a couple will complete a shade. We've gone very sideways here. And I don't just mean, like, to the other side of the fake wall in. I think Dark was kind of surprised at getting into the base anyways. Wondering whether or not he could rather than whether he should. But there's plenty of Zerglings here, and while Glaive Adepts may cut through them quickly, it's a numbers game. And right now... Well, again... Wait, is there a lair? Oh, not again. He saw the Dark Shrine. He did not see the Dark Shrine. There's a lair on the way? There's a spore at the front. So, the DT defense spore. Let's look at the Dark Camp. Oh, he knows. He didn't see it, but he saw it. He saw the shimmer. He may try to body block it. Alright, Dark. It's time. It's time to kill them with corrosive bile without detection. Oh, well. This spore is gonna get a few drones. Not a terrible start. Able to get barely to the corner here. An ambitious Archon is recalled, but killed. Oh, the spore on the high ground. Fool me once, and I won't get fooled again, says Dark. This time, like... And now that's the thing again about Protoss, is sometimes you play a card and they've never seen it before. But then you play that card in the next hand and, well, it's less surprising that time. DTs do not force Dark to turn around. He's got the lair done, ready to go. And now he's got plenty of roaches and lings here. How many gates? SOS has 8 gates done. So he can warp in a lot of units. And Dark doesn't have a huge economy behind this, but shield battery overcharge isn't even enough to save the Archon. There is no blink. Charge isn't even done. And roaches and lings continue to stream their way across the map. There is detection here. Corrosive vials. Let's try to sidestep out of the way. But there just isn't the unit count. Dark comes streaming in. And this time around, knocks out with a vengeance. He tried it once, and he got away with it, but this time around, Dark is not having it. 1-1. Bit of a vicious series. God. Now, well, we go to game 3. As, 2 attempts so far. 1 looked genius. The second time, though, not as good. Also, you gotta wall off. You can't let the Zerglings in, alright? They're not sending their best. They're sending their Zerglings. They're sending more Zerglings. It's a bad time. Game 3. Oh, heckity. I think you do it. Now we have to go into the depth of mind games. He knows that you know that he knows you want DTs 2 games in a row. So is it time to go for DTs 3 games in a row? Because it's so obvious it becomes... It becomes good again? I was trying to figure out a clever way. No, but it was going to sound dumb. And I think going DTs again would be dumb in a similar fashion. Oh. Poking and prodding. Showing off the minerals it stole. He did force Dark to take the 3rd base. Not trying for... I can't believe Dark was going to hatch block. I'm pretty sure he was. He was acting like it, but SOS kind of caught him off guard with his slightly quicker Nexus. But these builds are so mapped out that even a little bit off course can throw you entirely. Twilight Council? 3 for 3. Adept, making that Zergling very uncomfortable. Gets it. More Zerglings on the way. Enough to threaten the Adepts, potentially catch and kill them. He's been pretty consistent about that. Dark almost always makes a bunch of Zerglings early. He'd rather deal with any sort of early aggression you bring out and then find a timing for economy, as opposed to trying to roll with the punches, like some Zerg players. It is just an entirely different style. Oh, 4 drone kills. Meanwhile, the Zergling, I think Dark was looking at the Zergling as well. But 4 drones taken out by the Adepts before getting cleaned up. A whole bunch more Zerglings. The probe gets a kill. And the Adept, oh, okay, gotta be very careful. He's gonna get the shield battery. Wait, he wants to build a gate? No, that's not right. Okay, it was dicey there for a second, but now he's gonna go for the pylon. A second Adept. Glaives are on the way. That Adept is in a wall. So SOS making up for what you might argue are mistakes in the last game by putting together a pretty tight wall off in this one. It's going to be 3 pylons out at the front. I'm sure nothing could go wrong with that. Adept Glaives are on the way. Dark did build a whole lot of Zerglings. He cut his drone count dramatically to do so, and now he's only at 36. Is he really going to go for the Dark Shrine again? He's got... It's a macro build. All right. He's getting 2 more gases. SOS could go pretty much any direction with this now, as long as it's up to 10. There it is! The Dark Templar of the choice. Yet again. A safety move. Honestly, with Dark's tendency to go for these big Roach Ling timings, especially before Lair, they're kind of just a built-in counter. You saw how well they did on Oceanborn. So, Adepts shading by. Oh, and he cancels the shade. Even fools the camera. But he's going to get a lot of the Zerglings. But probably not the best trade for the Adepts. We got Spores on the way. And he's not suspecting Stargate. So Dark clearly has an idea of what SOS could be up to. And while I think he's not expecting it again, not taking the chance. I do love SOS bringing an entirely... He's just decided this is how I'm playing. He's one of those Protoss who historically has specialized in just winning. Just that parting. Zest, MC are on that list of Protoss players who didn't really have an archetype besides confidence. Obviously great micro, that's implied. But just doing a strategy and being so confident it'll work, kind of willing it into existence. And here we are with DTs for game 3 out of 3. Unfortunately, the Overseer comes out at the exact timing it's needed. The Zerglings body block the DT enough. Delays the 4th hatchery with a Warp Prism and a Depths. Trying to bait things out with the Shade. Get a bit cute with it. Adepts canceled into the Prism. Fancy footwork there. And, well, gets in with the Overseer. Sees. Very importantly for Dark here, the Robo-Bay. He knows that Colossus time. The Colossus used to thin out the Zerglings, add some more guaranteed damage. I do like him as kind of just a support unit as opposed to the hard carry they're sometimes forced into, as those spindly legs can't carry very much of anything besides their big and, like, uncomfortably tall and vulnerable heads. But Dark burrow move roaches. Now that's, he says, you go invisible and I'll go underground. Something we haven't seen in quite a while. Actually, I think a pretty good counter to Colossi as well. Even if there is detection, the damage output is just not that high. There's not disruptors on the field. That, of course, would be a very helpful option. But Dark is taking a different angle this time around. He rushes to the Hive. 8-minute Hive. Lurker down on the way. SOS trying to get aggressive. Trying to keep Dark at bay here. He's just pushing out with his first set. His first Colossus. His first Blink Stalkers. Gonna do what he can to keep Dark from kind of exploding economically. It's this thin line between losing too much and letting them grow too far. And SOS has managed to walk it pretty well so far in this series. He doesn't have a 4th base at home. Dark has expanded to the north side. So changelings out there in the center. Oh no, the Warp Prism. The burrow move roaches will be spotted. He should... Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no, he got in. There's a cannon in the main that will spot it. There's nothing in the natural. Oh no! They're already here! Roaches underneath the Stalkers. SOS. Well, somewhat awkward. I'm not sure who's flanking. Well, now I am. Dark. Just underneath and behind. He's in the main as well. He actually hasn't killed that much in the way of probes. It's 67 to 63 workers. The fight was not that great for Dark against that many Stalkers, as Burrow Move doesn't help the roaches do more damage, just get close enough to maximize what they can do. So SOS not finding a ton of success, but also not suffering too much at home. So still in a possible... Wait, the DTs either canceled or killed this hatch. I think they may have killed it during all that. I missed it, Dark missed it, but SOS had it, and it's... You can't body block a roach underground, except with buildings, which, don't ask me how that works, but I'm not a science man. I'm just here to talk about video games. But yeah, the Blink Stalkers able to clean up the roaches at home. One big glaring issue here for SOS is the lack of a 4th base, even though he's been able to keep Dark at bay. Eventually, Dark will get a 4th up, unless SOS is able to turn the tide here. There is a disruptor on the field. I believe some Vipers for Dark, though, could help to dismantle this. Lurkers for the first time. And, ooh, Lurker slicing through. There's a single Ruptor. The Changelings are potentially blocking the Ruptor. A second Robo's on the way. Some conspicuous Vipers there. Dark still able to hold on to his 4th base with that hive tech. There aren't too many great targets for the Vipers. Of course, Blinding Cloud isn't bad either. And SOS will head towards Stargate. I think realizing that the Lurkers will eventually become too much to handle. Now, is this an intentional split? His units kind of went 2 different directions here. The rest are coming back to join him. Oh, gets the Overseer. DT cleaned up, but does delay the base yet again. Dark still stuck on barely 4 bases. SOS has his 4th Nexus up. But Dark... Oh, that Lurker being... Sir, please. Sir, you need to come with us. There's a roach in the main. A few roaches getting found. But the Lurkers are incredibly dangerous. Just the Observer. Gonna get the base again to the north. Doing a great job of stamping out the outlying bases. But at the end of the day... Well... I was gonna say, the Lurkers are a problem. But he is already getting a fleet beacon. Disruptor shot and Colossi... Oh, no. Oh, no. He doesn't see it. And where there isn't the light, there's the dark. Oh, no. It's going pretty well for SOS right now, until the Lurkers pop up into his main. Fortunately, there's an Oracle, but he can't recall here. He doesn't have the energy. And, oh, it's a disaster. This might not end things, but all the tempo advantage, everything that SOS was doing on the other side of the map is completely undercut. Well, the Disruptor shots are actually incredible. That last shot could have made a huge difference. But Dark is reinforcing his position with multiple Niduses. The Lurkers, the Stargates are unpowered. There's no detection. Well, he does have that one Observer. Is that Oracle? Oracle's still alive somewhere, but now he has to fight into his own main. There's not much left to fight for. Knocks out some more of these. There's another Lurker over to the right flank. And Dark rips him to shreds. Oh, I was shaping up so well, but Dark found that one dark corner. God, how many times? Not even SOS immune to it. But he finds the weak point, and he drives the point home. SOS playing so well. Well, besides, you know, not walling off his natural. That wasn't great. But besides some glaring mistakes, and some incredible micro, and some great mind games. But Dark is too ready to take advantage of it. You can't slip at all, or Dark will pounce. Still, though, one of the most exciting and fun series of Protoss versus Zerg I've seen in a little bit. Hopefully, it made your day a little bit better. And if you got the means and motivation, it'd be awesome to check out Patreon or YouTube membership. Either way, I think liking and subscribing is free. Last I checked for now. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Good luck, have fun. Stay chill.